Hello, hello, hello. I wanted to share something with you that I really wanted to test. And today's test is about the latest image generation model from ChatGPT versus Gemini Nano Banana Pro. That's been the Gemini Google image generation model for the past 3 to 4 weeks. And in the early days of image generation, the tools that existed did not do a good job with one very specific thing that was text in the image. So every time there was an image with text in it, it was clunky, it made typos, it was really, really not good and really not reliable or accurate in any way, shape, or form. And for us, marketer, it was quite a challenge because most of the marketing visuals that we need contain text. So we basically could not use generative AI. If you wanted to do a picture of a cat with a hat or a picture of a dog doing windsurfing, you could do that, but it's not very useful for marketing. When Nano Banana Pro came up 3 or 4 weeks ago and I tested it with the text, I was blown away by how accurate and reliable it was with text. And since ChatGPT came up a couple of days ago, I wanted to test them against one against the other. So here's that's the initial image. As you can see, it's uploaded the exact same way on ChatGPT and Gemini. And I am going to ask both to do a French language version of the visual. So you can see the French language version on Gemini here on the left and this French language version of ChatGPT on the right. Right there, you can see that the Gemini version does look really, really good in terms of how the font is respected, how the size of the font, the way the font looks and feels. It's exactly the same as the original. It doesn't feel the same way with the ChatGPT one, where the first paragraph has one kind of font and the second paragraph, the font looks different and a little bit clunky and awkward. So as a first, view of that, Gemini does a much better job at respecting the font size, and the look and feel of the text in general. For everything else, the logo is fine. It's the same way on both models, and the little drawing here is also the same. So really, it's for the text that Gemini shines. And if you go to the next example that I used, I put another visual still from our LinkedIn page. You can see it on both sides. It looks exactly the same. That's the one. And I did the same thing. I said, can you give me a French version of this visual? Create the French version of this visual. And here it comes with ChatGPT, and here it comes with Gemini. And here it's actually even more visible. The Gemini one is super accurate. It sticks with the original. It's exactly the same. Where the ChatGPT creates those clunky bottom effects that were not in the original one. It's quite awkward. It added more to the image that they were in the original. So basically, you can't use this one on the right. You'll have to redo it and do it again. Everything else, the little social networks logos, the little red bullets, they're all really good. Everything visual is great on ChatGPT. Probably as good, or sometimes could argue a little bit better and sharper on the ChatGPT one than it is on Gemini. But when it comes to the text, really the way it looks on Gemini is more accurate. Now, what ChatGPT did better, and that's something I realized with ChatGPT is usually doing better, is with the quality of the copy. I think ChatGPT is so much better at copywriting and writing copy than Gemini. So if you look at the copy, first of all, you look at the original version. The original version was saying social media updates you shouldn't miss. So obviously, most of you are probably not speaking French, but social media updates you shouldn't see is actually very well translated, very well localized, should I say, with actualité, réseaux sociaux à ne pas manquer. That's exactly the right translation for this. It is not with mise à jour. Mise à jour is like more an update, a software update. So it's an update, but it's not this kind of update. It's more the news kind of update. So ChatGPT will always do a better job at copy, and Nano Banana Pro is going to do a better job at staying true to the original visual. What I did though, I went back to Nano Banana and I said, okay, please change, don't do mise à jour, and basically use what the ChatGPT told me, and so that's what it did. For the second one, I basically told him what to write, and he wrote it right. So my learning from this and my advice to you today is use Nano Banana Pro Gemini to create those language version of your marketing visuals, but make sure you have a native speaker who can double check what the result is so they can prompt the model to update the text if the text has been, kind of misinterpreted or mistranslated. And ChatGPT will always be better at doing the translation, at the copywriting. That's my experience. I don't know about you. Let me know in the comment. And thank you so much for listening to this. I will see you soon. Cheers.